Team, bring it in. We're going to begin with some mindset. Before we go into mindset, special welcome back to Principal Christy. Great to have you. Also, I want to recognize Dr. Van Brunt. Tell them what happened over the weekend, your major victory.
Yeah, I won my division at the BJJ Tour All-Star Tournament.
Isn't that amazing? I also want to recognize Brian. Brian is taking some of the preliminary steps to serve our country in the U.S. Army. So give Ryan a big hand. All right, we're going to talk a little bit of mindset. Before we go into the major message of our afternoon together, I happened to glance at the whiteboard. This was likely Coach Naomi this morning. I love her intention. How can we improve what the attempt was at reframing our mind? How can we improve upon these recommendations for mindset? What are some of the key words you're seeing in these?
Never.
Never. What are another key word you see in this?
Better.
Focusing on the negative tense. Stop. Over. Until. Stop. Tired. Done. Oh. Never. Oh. So consider this. It never gets easier, you just get better. How about I just get better? How about we just remove the negative tense altogether? How about this one? I don't stop when I'm tired, I stop when I'm done. I always keep going until I achieve the victory. Positive tense all the way through. Nothing is over until you stop trying. I always achieve the victory. I always do my best. I always give 100%. In other words, I'm all for developing affirmations. However, we have to be absolutely certain the affirmation we're selecting is entirely in the positive tense. Because if we're programming into our mind words like don't, stop, those will filter into our subconsciousness, which does not speak that language. In other words, you tell yourself, don't do something, all you hear is do exactly what you do not want to do. We've got to be really careful about keeping our mindset in the positive tense. Speaking of positive tense, here's what I really want to share with you. I'm training with Robert Guerrero, 6-time world champion fighter, professional boxer. He has an upcoming fight March 9th at the StubHub Center. Wow, that's going to be a huge contest. Before we train every morning, we study the gospel together. Specifically, we love to look at David and Goliath because, let's face it, as a boxer or a jiu-jitsu fighter or an MMA fighter, you face Goliath on a regular basis. That's your profession, to get into a ring and face a Goliath. So we're studying the most beautiful illustration of David versus Goliath. The beautiful story we have from Scripture. And I want to share with you something that Rob and I were reading together this morning. Here's the situation. David is about to face Goliath, yet David was not in the army. He was a shepherd. He'd been sent to the battlefield by his father to bring food to his brothers who were in the army. When David arrives on the battlefield, he sees the entire army retreating from the battlefront, and he asks, "Where are you going? Who are you fleeing from?" And they say, "You haven't heard? The Philistines have Goliath." Without even looking at this enemy, he says, "I'll take it. I'll fight this fight. I'll win this battle. I'll get the victory for you." He's denied the opportunity to fight because he's not in the army. He has to go to King Saul and ask permission from King Saul. King Saul reluctantly gives him permission on this one condition. Saul says, "You cannot go into battle wearing that." What was he wearing? Shepherd's clothing. Wearing shepherd's clothing. You cannot go into battle wearing that. You have to put on my armor. And here's exactly what Scripture reveals. Then Saul clothed David with his armor. He put a helmet of bronze on his head and clothed him with a coat of mail. He put his armor on him. Now David's got this armor on that does not belong to him. He's never worn it before. It belongs to the king. He walks around in it for a few moments and then realizes something. Listen to this. He tried in vain to go, but he had not tested them. I cannot go in these, for I have not tested them. He removed them and proceeded into battle. So what Rob and I were talking about this morning is that each one of you is wearing your shepherd's clothing. You're wearing the clothing, the identity, the talents, the gifts that God gave you. And we have to be really careful, because what the world wants to do is they want to put their armor on you. They want to tell you what to wear. And not the clothing you have on now. They want to tell you what identity to wear. They want to tell you who you are. And we have to be like David. We have to remember that we're given an identity, not by the world, but by God. And that's what gave David the victory. Had he gone into battle trusting the armor that Saul had his faith in, it might be a different story. But he took off that identity because he realized, I haven't tested this. What had he tested? His identity. As what? A shepherd. It's awesome. It's awesome. So my encouragement to Rob this morning is the encouragement for all of you. And that is, the first step is to identify our unique talents. How did God make you? Scripture says he knit you together in your mother's womb. Uniquely. He gave you talents, gifts, special abilities that only you have. No one else in the world can do what you can do like you can do it. When we identify what that is, our identity, then we can achieve what only can be achieved when we're in our armor, our identity, our clothing. Isn't that great? Awesome, guys. All right, without further ado, let's brief the workout. So